David McBride is a former Australian Army lawyer who leaked material detailing alleged war crimes by Australian Special Forces in Afghanistan. Because of this heroic act, he's facing 5 criminal charges and 50 years in prison. Hello, can you guess where I am? Probably if you can read, but just in case, I'm at the Australian Capital Territory Supreme Court. It sounds like it's the biggest one, but it's not. And over there is a massive protest for David McBride, for Australian standards, so about 40 people. And we are here to see if David McBride has delivered justice today. See? I wasn't lying. It probably is half of Canberra over there. Keep in mind, it is a fairly small city. And also, just so you know this, he definitely won't be delivered justice today. This is one of many, many days that he will be spending in court. But it's the first day. No, keep the shot going. Keep the shot going on the ground. Friendly Geordies Productions presents Camera Girl Getting Hit by Paul. It's the first day. And also, it's a danger zone. Oh my God. And David McBride thought he was the war hero, eh? Which is why he is a war hero. That's the reason that he's here. It's because of the Afghani files. He was the one that was just like, maybe we should be killing Afghani kids. And I was just like, what the hell? That's outrageous. You're the one committing war crimes. And so we're in Australian Capital Territory Court to figure out if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm just very, very grateful. That's all I really want to say today. I'm grateful for the incredible support and other ministers here. People I can look around who have really helped me in the last couple of years, which is quite amazing. I'm just full of gratitude. I've never been so proud to be an Australian.
Thank you, David. This government says it understands the important role of the press in a democracy. It understands the important role of whistleblowers for press freedom.
This court is becoming a symbol of issues associated with national security. David is at the beginning of this monstrous course that saw me here 60 times, 60 appearances. For the rest of my life, I cannot address the truth to you. For the rest of my life, I live under those orders and have to consider the words I give.
Might I just say, great, rousing, passionate speeches all around. Would have been improved greatly with a bunch of "Let's Go Brandon" chants. 4 out of 10. Tell you what else is outrageous. Bernard Collaery came, he showed up, made a speech. It was one of the best speeches I've ever heard in my life. But where's Julian Assange? Typical Julian never turns up for his fellow whistleblowers. It's a true disgrace.
This is the most important man in Canberra.
Thank you for recognising it. Oh, okay, there we go. We'll take that.
I'm allowed.
We have to go through this. It'd be if they just drop the charges or whatever. It'll be unsatisfactory, as Bernard is. I mean, to say, what about Alexander Downer? What about the questions that need to be answered in relation? And I don't want it just to go away.
No.
And it needs to be resolved. I'm a bit nervous about the cross-examination and not trying to get it wound up when they say, you just did this to get promoted. And I don't want to just jump down their throat.
Your inner soldier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'd be scared of that.
Yeah. So I'm
yeah, well, you behave yourself in there.
I'm so grateful that you're here.
Yeah.
And as I said, it gives me great pleasure. I went the pet store to buy a ball for Jake, and guy behind the counter, I was in a real hurry. I was parked in the no stopping zone, and I was like, hurry up, buddy. And he's like, I'm going to put in your number for our systems. And I was like, yeah, okay. Put it. And then he said, are you a veteran? And I said, yes. And he said, I saw you were friendly Geordies.
And that's what prompted the discount.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't think I got a discount.
Oh, okay.
But
why do they care then?
I know, it's kind of, I don't. Yeah, you wonder why they always brilliant. But he was like, just because when he saw my name. So that was good, 19-year-old guy. A lot of people know me because of you, which is terrific.
Well, yes. I am a hero, more so than you, and I do appreciate you acknowledging that finally, Mr. McBride. But also, I just got to say, can I just say kudos for fighting it all the way?
Yeah,
That's truly remarkable.
yeah. Well, that's
It
what
just
I
keeps swimming.
say to myself that I kind of when you do allow any moments of self-congratulation, you do sometimes think that to say it is a pretty big ask. No matter how much in the right you are, 10 years of kind of slogging away and being close to death and all sorts of things. You think, you've done pretty. Give yourself a pat on the back, whatever the result.
Yeah.
Slugging in there like Rocky, taking a pounding.
Which is this is pretty much Rocky 6 at this point, right? Like you are haggard, you are done with it, and yet you've still got to go out and you've got to do another one because this is the weird thing about court, right? Today is just one punch, and it's like, okay, we'll see you in 6 months for the second punch.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's
Another
happening.
one.
Yeah?
And there's two. I'm up against two because they've got the lawyer not just for the prosecution. I keep calling him Christian Porter, but the Attorney General's got their own lawyer there. So they're going to be like, and I feel like saying when he starts asking me, separate to the prosecutor, in relation to national security, and you feel like saying, what, really? There's two of you? So you made me laugh, and that's really, and I'm so grateful for you being here.
Here's what happened to us. You know the thing that you're watching me on right now, the camera? We walked in with it, everything was fine. You had to do your little airport, put it all in a tray. I don't know, for some reason they wanted my knife and my grenade and I didn't get them back and I was really pissed off at that. But that was all fine after that. And then we come back. We're about to walk out and he says, all right, that's it. What the hell is that? And we said, you were the one that let us go in with that. And he goes, I didn't know there were cameras. I was like, how could you not, I know that you can't see this right now, yeah, but just imagine one of those Channel 9 cameras that you're filming the footy on. It's that. And for some reason, this man, he could get all these kinds of weapons. I mean, no, actually, you know what? I'll just level with you right now. I didn't bring a grenade in. That was a gag. But can you imagine if I did? That man couldn't identify what a camera was. And so he was going to confiscate our cameras. And we said, why? Because he was saying that because we screwed up. That's your tax dollars at work. Actually, it wasn't even your tax dollars at work. For some reason, it was the Wilson car park guy, and he was just like, I get 2 checks this way. Oh, Assange did make an appearance. That was the first day of David's hearing for his defence under the Public Interest Disclosures Act, but basically, as soon as we entered the courtroom, his defence was withdrawn. Pretty much because listen to how crazy this is. Australian government spooks disallowed David from presenting certain evidence and witnesses under the grounds of national security. David was forced to withdraw his defence and now his case will go straight to a jury trial. I am presently standing next to the one, the only, Mark Davis from Xenophon Davis Associates. Is that the... Good enough. Close enough? Close, yep. He's also representing David McBride as well. Real life Atticus Finch. And seeing as it was really difficult for anybody that was sitting in the gallery to hear anything, what happened?
Today was the first defence for McBride on his before the criminal proceeding, and we were invoking the shield of Australian whistleblowing legislation, which has never been tested. It's been there 9 years.
Yeah.
No one's got to a court with it before. We were saying David McBride is protected by this. And the Commonwealth has become increasingly agitated as we've come towards this date, and it's been extraordinarily onerous. All sorts of national security laws have been imposed upon us. But the fatal one for us today was they invoked a provision of the intelligence kind of regime, if you like, to remove evidence from us and the court. So we were already enduring the secret trial aspect. That is, it wouldn't be public. It would be entirely sort of within the court chamber. But this final act was to remove evidence. And one, on principle, of course, we believe that should be opposed. It's not just protecting evidence, that is, it can't be published or the public can't hear it. It's actually removing it.
Yeah.
And so that inflicted a blow upon our prospects that was not worth the price of continuing, because in the course of this proceeding we'd be revealing certain aspects of David's criminal defence which relate to intelligence material, and as you heard Brett Walker put it to the judge, the material that the Commonwealth removed today related to foreign players, and that, as you can tell, I'm being incredibly cautious because I don't want to go to jail, which I could.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's removed from us.
That's your choice.
That's removed from us, and so we've said bye-bye. We'll go to a trial. We would rather face a jury of, Australian citizens than face that wall
Of spooks.
that were in that room, or very elegantly bewigged and suited representatives of spooks. That's what that room was full of.
Because I thought it was intimidating enough when I thought it was a room full of barristers. I thought there was just 40 lawyers representing it.
So normally in a case you'd have the defence team and then you'd have the prosecution team, CDPP. There was a third leg in there. That whole far end of the bar table are really strangers to this proceeding. In fact, they're strangers to any proceeding as we know it, in an Australian court. They weren't a party. You've either got a prosecutor and you've got a defence, that's it. Who are these dudes marching into the court? We have special rights to be here. They have special rights to object. They are the enemy of, in a way, the enemy of both the defence and the prosecution.
I don't know. I personally question your strategy there, Mark. I really feel like you'd probably get a better hearing out of a bunch of intelligence officers than the general public.
Yeah,
but that's
right.
just me. You're the lawyer.
Yeah. Well, fall as it may,
Yeah, gambling a man's life,
Yes,
Mark,
yes,
really.
yes.
But that's like, I think that, look, honestly, can I just know, before we even get in there, let's talk game plan here. You think he's got a good chance in front of a jury, sure?
Only in front of a jury, I think, because there's technical nature of the legislation. We in Australia we've got two forms of law, if you like. You've got common law, which is the old English principles, bundle of principles that apply, and then you have the Napoleonic system of a big list of legislation, right? Now, Australia used to be common law, and we've moved towards that Napoleonic, Soviet system of you write the law. The Parliament writes every word of the law.
Yeah.
And so when you empower a group like that, when you empower a group like intelligence agencies to write the law, there is no escape from that law. There's no escape.
Yes.
Whereas, Australians embrace and like the idea of, if you can get to a courtroom as a judge,
Hear him out.
here there's a separation of powers, right? Now, finally, I get to speak, and I go,
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, there are still elements of that, but it's rapidly disappearing. And one of the areas that's rapidly disappearing is the type of area we're dealing with McBride, right?
Yeah.
So it's very much under the legislation rather than the broader principles. But it's still a jury. It's still a jury. And juries can do as they wish. And we think David's actions are so obviously and fundamentally virtuous that we believe and hope that a jury would be on side with us for that. Whereas this sort of environment
So would I.
is very technical. This is very technical.
Man, imagine if you drew a jury that was entirely of just those intelligence officers. Like it was just all 12 of them just by random luck.
Yeah.
Well, yep, that's probably not going to happen, so I think you've probably got a good chance.
It'll be a Canberra jury.
Oh, yeah, actually, no. There's actually a very good chance of that happening.
A pretty decent chance of that happening. Yeah.
Well, look, honestly, thanks for everything you do, Mark.
Thank you.
Anyway, that was our magical tour in Canberra. And that's all you get for today because this is all a haphazard operation and I've got to drive back to Sydney and I'm tired. So, Dreyfus, lift my mood. You're a nice guy. I know you're a busy man, but I also hear that you're a very nice man. Maybe you could drop the charges, eh? Oh, and subscribe to David McBride's YouTube channel. And that man there, if he has one.
Please share and comment below. Comment.